Hello third grade, welcome back to Math with Naz. Today what we're going to be doing is making kind of like a cheat sheet for you to keep in your journal so that you will know how to spell all of the unit form and write all of the fraction form. Remember, unit form is when we say a fraction but using words instead of using that little line that has numbers on top and the bottom. Remember the numerator and denominator. So what you're going to need to do this is your journal, if you can find it. Your journal that you've been writing all of your work down in would be best so that you can find this easily. But don't sweat it if you can't find your journal or if you've not been using it. Any piece of paper will do. Okay? Go grab that and grab a pencil, something to write with, maybe a pen, and then come on back and I will walk you through the steps of this activity. Okay, third graders, the first thing I want you to do in your journal is write today's date. It's May 6th, 2020, and I wrote the short date 5-6-20. Once you've done that, go ahead and write unit form, skip a space, and write fraction form. We're going to write all of the unit form for these shapes and all of the fraction forms for these shapes. Once you have done that, unpause the video and come back for the next direction. And third graders, what I'm going to ask you to do is, as I'm going through this, it might take you a little extra time at home than it's going to take me because I've already drawn my shapes, and that's okay. You can pause the video and then restart it when you're ready to do the next thing. So if I'm moving too fast for you, no sweat. Just pause it and then come back. Okay, third graders, now that you've written unit form and fraction form, let's get started writing the actual unit form of these shapes. So the first thing I did was draw a circle. So go ahead and draw a circle at the top of your page. Partition that in half with one line. Now shade in 1/2. When you're done with that, unpause the video and we'll write it in unit form. Okay, third graders, unit form for 1/2, we say 1/2, and we write that H-A-L-F, 1/2. I say it, you say it, 1/2. Okay, now we're going to write it in fraction form, and we do that by putting the first on top, we'll put the number of shaded parts, which is 1, because we're working with the shaded parts. I could just as easily have said we're going to do the unshaded parts, but today I want us just to concentrate on the shaded parts. There's 1 shaded part. How many parts are total? 1, 2. 2. I say it, you say it, 1/2. So you read them the same, but unit form is written as a word and fraction form is written like this. Okay, go ahead and draw a rectangle. Partition your rectangle in thirds. Shade in 1 of the thirds, just like I've done here. When you're done with that, go ahead and unpause the video and we'll move on to writing it in unit form and fraction form. Okay, third graders, we write 1/3 as 1/3, T-H-I-R-D, 1/3. I say it, you say it, 1/3. Nice job. And we write 1/3 by saying the total number of shaded parts over the total number of parts that there are altogether. And that is 3. Little mistake, no big deal. 1/3. Okay, the next shape I've drawn, when you're done with this, move on to this shape. I've drawn a circle and I've partitioned that circle into 4 parts by drawing 1 line in half, lengthwise, hot dog wise, and then 1/2, 1 line to make it in half hamburger wise. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Go ahead and do that and shade in 1 of the parts. When you're done with that, unpause the video and let's write it in unit form and fraction form. Okay, the unit form for 1/4 is 1/4, F-O-U-R-T-H. I say it, you say it, 1/4. Nice job. Make sure you've written that. And then also write it in fraction form. 1 part is shaded in. There are 4 parts total. 1/4. Nice job. When you have finished that, we're going to draw another rectangle. In this rectangle, you're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. And if you draw 4 lines, it partitions it into fifths. So go ahead and draw that. Shade in one of the parts. And then unpause the video and we'll practice unit form and fraction form. All right, 3rd grade, nice job drawing those shapes. We're going to write it in unit form. We say 1/5, F-I-F-T-H. I say it, you say it, 1/5. All right, 3rd graders, tell me, how many parts are shaded in? 1. How many parts are there total? 5. 1/5. Okay, once you have done from the half to the fifth, go ahead and unpause the video for the sixths. Okay, 3rd graders, what I did to do the sixths is I did a rectangle, and I cut that rectangle first into thirds, long ways, and then I cut the whole thing into half. So I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts, and I shaded in one of the parts. We call that 1/6. 1/6. Okay? And then tell me how many parts are shaded in? That's right, 1. How many parts are there all together? Goes on the bottom. How many parts? That's right, 6. I say it, you say it. 1/6. Nice job. Make sure you have that sound at the end. All right, once you have done from a half to a sixth, go ahead and pause the video. And we're going to move on to the next number. Bring it down here a little bit. And there are 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I draw 6 lines, I get 7 sevenths. I get 7 parts. And I go ahead and do that. And then I shade it in 1. Shade in 1. When you're done with that, you're going to write it in unit form. And we write that 1/7. And then in fraction form, there's 1 part shaded, which is what I'm concerned with today, the shaded part. And there's 7 parts total. This will be a good chart to help you refer back to when you are working on fractions and you need to know how to spell or write the fraction form. Okay, so the next one, after you've done all that, you can totally do this as a rectangle. I wanted to show you how to do it as a circle. If you were doing it as a rectangle, I would cut it into fourths, and then I would cut my fourths in half. But I did it as a circle. So I started by cutting or partitioning this line down the middle to get halves. Then, like I did the fourths, I partitioned that this way, the hamburger way, to make fourths. And then I just, from the center circle right here, I drew lines cutting each of the fourths in half. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts. And we write that as 1/8. 1/8 is the one that I usually spell wrong. A chart can be really helpful if you need to work on spelling something, and that's the one that I often get wrong. So, how many parts are shaded in? 1. How many parts are there all together? 8. Unit form, fraction form. All right, so for this next, once you've gotten all this done, we're gonna move on to the next one. Again, I know I'm moving a little bit, I might be moving a little bit fast. For some of you, I might even be moving a little bit slow, I don't know. But if I'm moving fast, feel free to hit that pause button and then do what I'm doing and then come back. So next we're gonna do a rectangle. I partitioned it into thirds, and then I cut that in half. No, then I cut that in thirds lengthwise too. So one line makes 1, 2, 3 parts. Then a long line followed by another line makes 1, 2, 3 parts. Isn't that a beautiful array? See, our use of arrays, these visuals that we use just keep coming back. So there are 9 parts, so we call this 1/9. And we write that in fraction form as 1/9. 9 parts total, 1 part shaded. That's what we're looking for today. When you're done with that, let's do the last one, which is tenths. So I did tenths just like I did fifths. I partitioned it with 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4 to make 5 parts. I then cut lengthwise that whole thing into halves to make tenths. There's 1 part shaded in, so we call this 1/10. And we write that as 1/10. 1 shaded part, 10 parts total. I say it, you say it, 1/10. All right, third graders, I will take a picture of this also and put it in Schoology so that you can, if it's hard to see here, you can look at Schoology to get the chart and copy it down. But do copy it down in your journals and send me a picture of it. Next up, I have some independent practice for you to do, okay? All right, third grade, so for your independent practice today, we're gonna write it in your journal, and I'm gonna help you set this up because you are doing this graph, okay? And we want it to be really neat for a couple reasons. The first reason is so that you can refer back to it as you're continuing to work on fractions and it can help you. And the second is so that people can read it. So instead of doing your lesson vertically today, I'd like you to turn your journal this way, which we call horizontally, okay? Then you're going to write the date, and I'm going to write it over here, 5/6/20. Please do the same thing. After you have written the date, come all the way to the bottom of your paper. That's all the way to your left, and write the word shape. Next to that, you're going to write total parts. Skip a little bit of room. Third graders, do not write too large or you will run out of room. Next to total parts, write shaded parts. This is where you're going to write the shaded parts. Again, not too big. Next to that, skip a little room and write unit form. And then here at the end, write fraction form. Go ahead and pause the video until the top of your paper looks like the top of mine, and then come back. Okay, so I am going to show you some shapes. And then I'm going to show you how to draw those shapes and what to shade in. So what I want you to do is label this as 1. And then you're going to draw a triangle. The triangle looks like that. Then I would like you to draw a line from this corner, this edge at the top, all the way down so that you have halves, and then shade in 1/2. So let's go ahead and answer all of the questions for this first one. But I'm only gonna do one with you, and then you're gonna do the rest of them on your own. I know you can. So the first thing it's asking me is total parts. How many parts are there? I say it, you say it, 2. Write it, 2. Then it's asking shaded parts. How many shaded parts are there? I say it, you say it, 1. Write a 1. Then it's asking you to write it in unit form. You have that chart to help you. You write unit form as 1/2. Fraction form is 1/2. Once yours looks like mine, we're ready to move on. So I'm going to come down a little bit and write a 2. And then here I'm going to draw a rectangle. And I'm going to partition that rectangle into thirds. Shade in 1/3. Remember, if I'm going too fast for you, no sweat, just pause the video and unpause it when you're ready. Now write 3 and draw a square. Once we're done drawing all of the shapes, you can go and fill in all of the answer all of the different questions. So thirds, you're gonna say how many total parts are there? How many shaded parts are there? Write it in unit form and fraction form. So now for 3, I'm going to draw, I did draw a square, and then I'm going to take a line from this corner to this corner, diagonally, and then I'm going to do it again. Now I have fourths, and I'm going to shade in 1 part. Once yours looks like mine, move on, write 4. Draw a rectangle, a long and skinny one, and partition that into 5 different squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shade in 1 of them. Okay, next up is 5. Now, when you see the work in Schoology, or if you get it online, you're gonna see that they did lots of diagonal lines. I think free drawing this would be a little bit hard, so I am not gonna draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts like this. I'm gonna do it a little different. I'm just gonna draw my rectangle and break my rectangle into thirds. Yeah, because I'm doing 6, and then those in half. So you end up with 6 parts. If you want to attempt to draw this shape that you see on the problem set, have fun. And then go ahead and shade in 1 of those parts. Once you've done 1 through 5, go ahead and unpause me, and we'll do the last one. Here's the last one you have to do. You're gonna draw a rectangle, and I'm gonna draw this one a little bit fatter than the rectangles I've been drawing, because I'm gonna partition this into 8 parts. So first I'm gonna partition into fourths, like that. And then I'm going to draw 1 line lengthwise down the middle, And now I'm just gonna shade in one of those parts. Go ahead and do that on your own paper. You should have all of these fractions shapes drawn out. Once you have done that, go right down the line and answer all of the questions. Okay, when you have done that and your paper is all finished, go ahead and take a picture of this along with that chart that we made that has the unit form and the fraction form, and send both of those pictures to your teacher. All right, third graders, thanks for doing this lesson. Thanks for working so hard at home. I hope you know how proud your teachers are of the way you show up and work hard every day. Please keep it up. All right, third grade, take care. Talk soon.